It's a pleasure for me to be able to speak to you today about international education. I do not have a prepared text, but I do have some notes. First, I want to say that you are a citizen of the world. So am I. That is the starting point for international education. We need to understand that each one of us is a citizen not only of our local community and our nation, but also a citizen of the world. International education is cultivating people to understand what it means to be a citizen of the world and to give them the skills in order to be a responsible citizen of the world. That is precisely the kind of education that John F. Goucher had in mind for Aoyama Gakuin when he combined two boys' schools on this campus. From that starting point, Aoyama Gakuin has been very clearly aiming to do international education. International education means cultivating a kind of international mindedness, to have an international mind. People need to be aware that they are not simply citizens of their own local country or community, but also of the world, and that takes a particular mindset. And so international education is helping people to have the proper awareness and understanding and attitude about the world and their position in it. I think that international education has an agenda for what it wants to teach. I think that there's some key elements that need to be taught in international education. Number one, peace. International education is absolutely trying to promote world peace. And I don't just mean the absence of war, that also involves justice. International education also promotes international and cross-cultural understanding. You can't achieve anything else in international education without international and cross-cultural understanding. So that is very important. How do we understand people who have a different language, who have a different culture, who have a different way of thinking from us? It takes education to do that. People don't naturally understand others who are different from themselves. They need to have education. International education also promotes respect for diversity and inclusivity. That is related to international understanding, but it's also a separate topic because we need to understand that it's okay to be different. That is what diversity is about. And international education helps people understand the value of diversity, the meaning of diversity, and how to include people who share different ideas and values than themselves. Another key aspect of international education is human rights and universal human values. Now, I think that those ideas of the idea of human rights and those things come from the basic dignity given to humans by God. But whether you are religious or not, we can all agree on the importance of human rights and such universal human values. And international education is part of promoting those values and understanding those values. Without international education, we cannot, as a species, begin to understand what it means to be humans together. International education also prepares students to contribute to society both locally and internationally. International education is not simply about raising up leaders who are going to go somewhere else in the world to serve. It's about educating people who are going to be working in society locally, but who will do it with an international mindset. And they will also have the tools and the education in order to interact with people who come from other places in the world. So I think when we educate students at Aoyama Gakuin, our students, some of them will be working overseas, some of them will be working in Japan, but wherever they are in society, they will be able to conduct themselves internationally. They will be able to treat people of other cultures and understand them properly. It prepares students to understand the world and to be able to promote international understanding in their local communities, in their workplace, in their neighborhoods. Aoyama Gakuin, of course, as an institution, is cultivating servant leaders to create a better future for all people and society. Our goal, our vision as an institution is explicitly international education. We are not trying to cultivate servant leaders for Japan only. We are trying to cultivate servant leaders to create a brighter future for all peoples and for society in the whole world. Today, the world needs servant leaders. That is, people who find their calling in serving others and society, and in so doing to become a guiding light for others, not just locally, but on an international perspective. And people who do that embody our commitment as Aoyama Gakuin to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. In some ways, the world situation is at a difficult time for international education. Democracy is on the decline globally. But despite the changing times, the pressing need for multilingual education, international social contribution, international understanding, and respect for diversity, peace education, and human rights education have not changed. All of those things are as important today as they were when John F. Goucher had the vision to start Aoyama Gakuin as a university in 1882. John Goucher's vision for this institution was to be international, and the needs for international education are as important in 2020 as they were in 1882. The threats that we face today in the world, from environmental sustainability to the coronavirus pandemic, are global issues that must be addressed by humanity as a whole and cannot be solved by any one country or region alone. That's why we, as Aoyama Gakuin, must emphasize international education. Today, international society is facing a multitude of challenges. But it is precisely because of the global situation that we need people who can contribute to the international community. And that is why Aoyama Gakuin is currently strengthening its internationalization strategy more than ever before. I'm delighted that staff are participating in this. I hope it will be educational for you, and I look forward to the exchange.